All right, welcome back. It's another episode of Butt Crack Cycles. If you're new here, I'm your host of this channel. My name is Paul, and this is my YouTube channel that I do about vintage and old school Harley Davidsons. So I would consider that like Evo engine and earlier, with a very strong preference to pre-Evo stuff. I haven't made a video in like months. I've been really busy this winter. It's March now as I'm filming this, and I'm walking out to my little bike shop here in my backyard, and whoops, hit a tree branch. I just wanted to take a couple of minutes to sit down in the shop after I get it opened up and set up a tripod and sit down in front of a camera, and we're just going to talk about, can you make money working on old Harley Davidsons, and also, answer some questions about like where have I been and what have I been doing, and just where I'm at with my business. So I'm gonna go unlock the shop, and we're gonna sit down and have some coffee and chat. Anyways, before we get started talking about, can you make money with old Harleys like this shovelhead that's sitting right next to me, I wanted to take a couple minutes and just talk about, where I'm at in my life and my business, why I haven't really been making videos. Just kind of do like a state of the channel for my regular viewers. Thank you all for sticking around with me while I've kind of just disappeared over this past winter. And if you're just here for like the how do I make money with old bikes, just skip ahead a couple minutes, though I will say you might want to actually listen to some of the stuff I'm about to talk about, because these two things go hand in hand together. If all you want, is the fast track to easy money working on old bikes, hell yeah, brother, then I guess skip this part, but whatever. All right, let's talk. So if you are a regular viewer of this channel, you'll know that I have been a heavy-duty diesel mechanic for a long time. It's March of 2024 as I'm filming this, and I got my first full-time job as a mechanic in 2011 or 12, I think it was. So I'm 34 years old. I've been doing this pretty much my entire adult life. And in January of 2022, I quit my job at the cat dealership. I was a field service mechanic. I worked on industrial generator sets. And I went into a partnership with a real good friend of mine, Chris, who y'all have seen him on this channel before. And we started renting a shop and opened a business, and we were working on heavy-duty over-the-road trucks, 18-wheelers. And that lasted from January of 2022 till August of 2024. And we were actually doing really well our second year of business, but the shop we were renting got sold. So we had to get everything out of there basically in a 3-week period. I had to find somewhere to put my motorcycles and started renting a storage unit. And y'all saw some of that in some of my videos that were around that August-September timeline. And that put me in a position where I was like, now what am I going to do for work? Because the only shop that he and I could find that was sort of in our general area and was big enough to actually pull tractor trailers into and was in our budget for what we could afford was an hour and 15 minutes one direction from my house. And I just decided that that was too far for me to drive. It's be 3.5 hours of driving every day to go, keep running this business. So he and I sat down together, and we, had an operating agreement drafted up, and then we kind of just came to a gentleman's agreement together, and Chris bought me out of that business. And around the same time, my wife took a new position where she started working a lot more. So instead of going back and getting a regular job, I was just like, well, I'm going to keep working for myself. I like working for myself. And I've kind of shouldered some more of the household domestic responsibilities, which isn't to say I was a deadbeat dad to start with. I've always done pretty fair share around the house, but with Tiffany working now 8 to 5 basically Monday through Friday, there's stuff that she can't do that she was able to do before, so I'm now doing that stuff. And back in the fall, like around September or October, kind of my plan was to wean myself off of truck work and lean really heavily into the bikes and see if I could make it just working on bikes and doing YouTube videos and some of the stuff I'm going to talk about later in this video about ways I think you can make money on old Harleys. But as the sort of fall turned into winter, my phone just kept ringing and kept ringing and kept ringing with work to do on trucks. So I just kept getting in my service truck and kept going to do the work. And I ended up, Butt Crack Cycles is more than just a YouTube channel or Instagram page. It is an actual LLC. It's a real business that I started about a year and a half ago, almost closer to 2 years ago now. When I realized that I was going to be making some money doing this, I wanted it to be as legitimate as possible. So I just did a DBA for that business, and I've been running as BC Truck Repair, Butt Crack Cycles Truck Repair. And y'all, I have been so damn busy. I haven't stopped. I haven't had time to come out here and even ride a motorcycle, never mind work on one. So that's really where I've been at. But now that the days are starting to get a little bit longer and the weather's starting to get a little bit nicer, you know, I really want to be back doing bike stuff, and I enjoy making YouTube videos. This is fun for me. I like doing this, and I like sharing what I'm doing, and I like, you know, the comments that y'all leave, and I really like meeting people in person when I can, like at bike shows. So yeah, here we are. Hopefully I'll start doing some videos again soon. Okay, so now on to what probably many of y'all clicked on this video to watch was, can you make money working on old Harleys? And the answer to that is yes. I don't know if you can make enough to be solely that your only income, though there's plenty of people who do. As I just explained, I haven't leaned into that as hard as I would like to, but I'm just going to talk about where I'm at, what I've done, and kind of my plans moving forward for the future. You know, viewing this as a business, but also a hobby too. This is something that I really love and I'm passionate about, and I just genuinely enjoy doing, whether it makes me a killing or not. So, the way I have been approaching this is that I don't really want to take on any work for people. I don't want someone to bring me a broken bike and then I fix it and charge them. I get enough of that in my day-to-day business of working on trucks and tractors and farm equipment. So I don't want that in motorcycle land. I'm sure you can make money doing that, but it comes with all of the other headaches of running a shop and running a business. And that's just something I didn't want. So my business model is sort of structured as follows. Buy a cheap bike, fix it, sell it. And that's really it. So far I've done okay. I've bought and fixed and sold, I guess 3 bikes so far. And I've turned a pretty decent little profit on all of them. It's never been a lot. My average profit per bike right now is about $600. So we're not making, you know, you're not paying your rent every month off of one bike, but if you could keep it steadily going and sell 2 or 3 a month, you know, it's a little bit of good extra income. Another thing that's worked for me is trying to make money in different places. And by that, I mean, don't just try and make all of your money just fixing and flipping the bikes, if that makes sense. I've done pretty good selling parts, whether I've gone and bought lots of parts and then listed them for sale individually, spread the lot out. That works really well. A lot of times you can get a good deal by just buying a bunch of parts all at once, and you can break that parts lot up and sell stuff one piece at a time. You will often, you know, make your money back and turn a pretty nice profit. So parts have been, you know, a good little trickle of income for me too. And then this right here, what we're doing right now, YouTube. I started last year, 2023, with like around 500 subscribers, and I ended last year with almost 5,000. So I really grew this YouTube channel last year, and this bike right here is a lot of it. People love the shovel head. The shovel head is like the people's choice. Everyone wants shovel head videos. I don't know why, so thanks, little buddy. Yeah, you know, I don't make a ton on my YouTube channel, but even on months like over the winter where I haven't been active, I still have made, you know, a check every single month from YouTube, comes into my bank account from ad revenue. The nice thing about doing the Harley videos, from the way that I understand it, YouTube monetizes their videos like based on your content, if that makes sense. So they're looking at, you know, who's watching your videos, where are they from, how old are they a man or a woman, and what you're making content about. So if I understand this right, and I might not, with Harley videos, YouTube is saying, this guy's always making videos about Harleys. Harleys are generally not someone's primary means of transportation. These are a hobby. So someone watching Harley Davidson videos has enough money to have extra disposable income to go buy a hobby motorcycle. And these are expensive motorcycles, and parts for them are, expensive, and accessories are expensive. And it's generally older white men in the US watching these videos. So these are dudes who've got some money to spend. And that means that I get paid more per view than someone making content about stuff that's probably going to appeal to a demographic without a whole lot of disposable income. That's the way it was explained to me by someone who's a lot better at YouTube than me. So with that being said, on months where I'm actually making YouTube videos, I make a couple $100 a month off of my YouTube. It's not a lot, but if you turn a couple $100 profit a month on flipping a bike, and you make a couple $100 a month on selling some parts, and you make a couple $100 a month on YouTube videos, it all adds up. And that brings me to my last thing. I actually had some really cool t-shirt art done, and I've had one shirt printed. I need to set up like an online web store so I can sell to people who don't live just around me and find me on Facebook Marketplace. I'd love to be able to have an online web store where y'all can buy stuff, whether that's t-shirts or hats. I've got some ideas for some other t-shirts too that I want to have made. I've even thought about putting up small parts on there, and some of like the little stuff that I might fabricate for a bike, and I might make a piece that solves a problem, and someone says, hey man, like I could use that on my bike. Well, it'd be sweet if I could just throw that in a box and send it to you who saw it on this channel, and you just go to my web store and buy it. I haven't done that yet, but I think that's a good idea. So overall, can you make money on old Harleys? Yeah, I think there's probably a lot of people who are making a lot more money than I do. But as I explained, this is kind of just a side business for me and like a hobby that I'm able to, monetize without it becoming like all-consuming. That's really important for me. I do this a lot as like an escape. Like, this is something I like and I love to ride, and I don't ever want this business to become, a stress. This is enjoyable. My other business of fixing trucks and tractors and equipment and stuff is enough stress for me, though honestly that's generally pretty enjoyable too. And I really just, I want to stay independent. I don't want to go work for someone else ever again if I can help it. I like working for myself. It's nice. I might not ever be a millionaire. I never will be. I'll always be poor. And I'll probably work till the day I die. I'll fall over dead with a wrench in my hand. But I think I'd rather that than sitting in a cubicle in an office slaving away for the man for the rest of my life, because that sucks. Anyways, I hope this one wasn't too boring. I know we didn't fix anything or do anything. Well, I got y'all and we're talking about future plans. This bike, I want to pull this tank off. You can see my paint job is flaking off. And really paint it. I'm going to ditch this boat tail fender and finish this, finish it. Is any bike ever really finished? The iron head is right here off camera. Like, the tripod's actually touching it. The clutch is slipping on that bike. I rode it a couple days ago, and it does fine if you're easy on it, but the second you really try and wring its neck, it won't hold it. So we got to do some clutch work. That Evo Sportster chopper project is over my shoulder again off camera. Need to just finish that and make that into a running riding bike. That's a big project. These two, the iron head and shovel head, small projects, stuff I can knock out pretty quickly and easily. So y'all will probably see one of these two first, and then we'll go to the chopper project. And last but not least, speaking of selling bikes, the red Evo Sportster's out there in my lean-to, under a cover, under a lean-to, so it's as covered as I can get it. That bike needs a new battery. The battery in it's only 2 years old, and it crapped out on me the last time I went to go run for some parts. I like that bike as a parts runner because it has a tall sissy bar and a bag, real big bag on it. But I need to throw a battery in that bike and make sure it's good to go. And now that the weather's starting to get warm, I'm gonna take some pictures of that, and I'm gonna let that one go. I thought long and hard about it. I really like that bike. It's really practical. It's pretty reliable. I enjoy riding it, but I need the cash more than I need that bike. So that one's gonna go up the road. I think now's a great time to sell it, and I might roll some of that cash into a future project. Which brings me to the end of this video, and my last piece of advice is, if you're trying to run a small business or work for yourself, don't get a credit card, don't go into debt. Make sure you always pay the business back before you pay yourself. It's so easy sometimes to be like, oh wow, I just got this $5,000 check, I'm gonna pay myself $5,000, instead of putting that $5,000 into your business account and paying the business back for parts and supplies you might have bought and any overhead expenses, and then paying yourself with some of what's left over. So I guess that's my dad advice for this video. But yeah, that's it. See y'all next time.